Okay, we'll get started here in just a few seconds since give everybody a chance to log on here.
Guess I should have started this bad boy way earlier. Every time I turn this thing on, it wants to do an update.
Your computer?
My laptop.
Oh, your laptop.
But I guess I haven't turned it on that much, so. Let's see, if I need to, I'll just go off of this.
Is the volume good? Can everybody hear me okay?
Jackie says that
But nobody was saying anything.
the volume's not that good.
Will someone let me know if you can hear me? Hello?
Do you have the live pulled up?
I do, yeah.
Okay. What?
Okay.
Jackie's saying no.
Okay, I think we're good.
Melissa says yeah.
Yep. Okay, let's go and get started here. Welcome everybody to Tri-State Live on Facebook. Just like every other week, if you happen to be driving or anything, please turn this off now. Let's make sure we stay legal. And then of course we'll post this on Facebook and YouTube later on. So my name is Michael Fisk. I just wanted to a few things. To be honest with you, I don't really have a specific agenda. I've just got 4 or 5 things, maybe talk about. Any questions that anybody else has, please feel free to send them in. Brittany's here and she'll monitor the questions, and I've got my computer here too that we can turn it on. But if you have questions, go ahead and send them in. First, I want to mention the NFL draft last night. I think Arizona Cardinals and New York Giant fans are kind of hosed, so good luck to you guys. We are going to start recognizing and honoring Driver of the Year. Jeanette Denton and others, Donnie's on that committee, and Christina and Chris Hauer and several others are on the the committee that will start recognizing. We're going to do Driver of the Quarter and Driver of the Year. And so there's more information that will be coming out on that, but just be aware that it is important that we honor our drivers, and this is a program that we've talked about doing for many years, but to be honest with you, we just didn't have the resources, the time to really manage and facilitate this. But JD is chairing that the committee, and we we'll be honoring that here soon. Kind of in that theme, as last summer we met for the first time with the driver council, and we had 10 drivers that we asked to participate as far as their input, as far as their experiences, to just tell us what we're doing well, what we're not doing well, what needs immediate attention, what needs eventual attention. We are going to be meeting again, with Driver Council end of May. So if you have questions or problems that you see that are just chronic or just ways that we can improve the company, please let us know. If I mention all the drivers, here, I'm going to be in trouble, but I'm going to try it anyway. It's Rod Groom and Mike Tervugler, and I probably did not pronounce his last name right. Robin and Tim Roberts, Randy and Charlotte Knickerbockers. We've invited the Parthens, and I'm not sure of their first name, and they've agreed to join the committee. And we've also asked the Ernstons to join the committee. So that's 10 drivers, and if you see them out there and have specific things you want to talk to them about to make sure that they represent to the committee, please do so. Otherwise, send me an email or get it to Vonda or Wade, or Russ Thompson is on that driver council. Donnie Lester's on that safety council, on that driver council, as well as several others. last summer, we knocked out a pretty good chunk of lists, and we have some other items that we certainly want to discuss in the next month here. So please let us know about that. Last week, some of you were there, but hopefully you saw the press that was out. We had the official opening of the Legacy Lodge in Joplin. Now, obviously, we've been using that for many, many months, but we had the Joplin Chamber of Commerce. We had the several news sources that were out. Chairman Don Daskey, Daskey was able to come up, as well as some other Daskey folks, and we were able to officially open the lodge. That's not the important thing. The reason why I bring that up though is the lodge represents something, and I get questions a lot, or I get comments a lot. Why do we spend all this money on the lodge? I mean, why doesn't it go to equipment? Why doesn't it go to drivers' salaries? Why doesn't it go to various other places? And here's the answer for it. First of all, we've raised driver salaries or incomes in the last year a significant amount, about 11 to 14%. Our owner operators are making more money than they ever have. We're investing in the office employees. But what the lodge represents is a sign of respect. It's a sign of respect to all of our drivers. I mean, there's some facilities out there that are nice, but most are not. And that's what this investment as a company, represents, is that we honor our drivers. We recognize that if you were at home, you would have comforts and you would have luxuries, that you don't have out in the truck. And so when you are able to come to Joplin, hopefully you can have some comfort and some luxuries that, just whether it's for a few hours or a day or two or however long, that you happen to be in Joplin. That's what the lodge represents. And again, can we, allocate those resources or spend those resources in other places? Sure. But to us, it's an investment of respect and an honor, to our drivers. Driver surveys, for those that are company drivers receiving the new retention and production bonus, all of you have participated in filling out the driver surveys. I was going to share some information on that, but I think, and this is something JD and I will talk about, I think we need to get that survey out to all of our owner operators as well, so we make sure that we get your input and and feedback as well. And so I'm going to hold off on sharing some of the results until we make sure we get the owner operator input from that. Elvin Ramey sent in a message, about our switchboard. Now, as we made a big push to, try to, communicate a, universal, call-in number. And Elvin points out, that smartphones these days, you can program them with pauses, and it can go through the switchboard prompts already pre-dialed, type of thing. However, our night dispatch, our switchboard, and our day switchboard has different prompts. So that's something that we're looking at. However, in the meantime, it might be just easy to just set up a day, number and with the prompts pre-programmed, if that's what you do, and then just have a second number programmed into your phone for night, with the different prompts on that. But we'll look at, getting just one universal switchboard 24/7. So, if you pre-program your phone, with the prompts and everything, that it doesn't, change things up. Okay. Behind me, and hopefully you can see the screen here. I've got the website up for a charity called Folds of Honor. And what Folds of Honor does is their commission is to help the families, the widows, the widowers, the children of our fallen soldiers, of soldiers that are lost in full active duty service. It's a tremendous organization, and it's a charity that we're going to be sponsoring, especially the Tri-State as Roadmaster Group level. And so you'll see on our trucks, as you get to Joplin and Phoenix, we're going to, be putting a Folds of Honor sticker on all of our trucks, okay? Part of that, though, and in conjunction with the Driver of the Year, we're also going to be wrapping some of our trucks. So if you want more information about Folds of Honor, you go to foldsofhonor.org, okay? And it just gives you, information about what they do, how they spend the money, that we contribute to them. Individually as a driver, or as a family, or however you see fit, you can certainly contribute to Folds of Honor as well. But this is something we're going to be doing as a company. One of the things that we're doing is wrapping one of our trucks. And this is, in fact, it's at our graphic designer right now, what our first wrap truck is going to look like here. And hopefully you can see this okay here. Let me scroll down. So that's the driver's side. This is the passenger side, here. Stand with us, providing educational scholarships to spouses and children of America's fallen. Tri-State, they have a wingman designation for those who support them. And then this is what the front of the truck will look like. So we're pretty excited about this, and I think it's important for us as a company and individually to give back, and certainly given the business that we're in and the nature of work that we do, I think this is a very appropriate organization for us to support.
Jason Matthews wants to know, how do I get in line to get my truck wrapped?
Okay, so that's Jason. That's a good question. We are probably going to make that a part of the Driver of the Quarter. Okay, don't hold me to it, but what we're looking at is those that are Driver of the Quarter, and then obviously Driver of the Year, we'd wrap the truck. Now it may be Folds of Honor that we offer. We may offer a couple of other different designs to choose from. We got to kind of work out the economics of these. These wraps are not cheap, and so given that our trucks are typically replaced every 3-4 years, we need to feel confident that that's how we want to do things. And then owner operators, if they're Driver of the Quarter or Driver of the Year, it's they're probably easier to wrap their trucks. Typically owner operators will keep their trucks longer than we do as a company, but there is a way, Jason, and what that is yet we haven't completely worked out, but there will be a way for other company drivers to get that. So. And
you said this is for company drivers and potentially for owner operators as well.
Yeah, the driver of the Quarter and Driver of the Year, is for both. Now we're wrapping. This wrap is going to be on a company truck, obviously. Any owner operator that wants this wrap, we can certainly, make this design available to you. We wouldn't pay for it, and call me or email me if you want this and wrap your truck, and I'll let you know who we're doing it with, and and you can take it to any graphic wrapping company that you want, but ours, we're doing it here in Phoenix.
We got a few drivers that are already saying they want this on their truck. Jackie Hensel, Donna Brown, Chad Bro.
Okay. Send me a message, okay? Send me an email, michael.fisk@roadmastergroup.com, and I will send you the proofs. I will send you, the mock-ups. Each truck is a little bit different, configuration and everything, so it'll have to be modified. But that's good to know too, because we might be able to get some volume pricing, depending on how many we get. With the graphic design company too. The company we're going with, and most of you know George Gonzalez, at the shop here in Peoria, is work that George has done, and that's how we met them. And they're about 25% cheaper than what the other bids that I've got. So we're already getting a decent price, but it's still a little hefty. So send me a message, and I'll get that info to you, and maybe it's something we can do together for sure. But anyway, we're excited about this, and I think, as we go on, serve our customers in the DoD, I think that's something that they'll appreciate and recognize. And if it's just something, one other thing that we can, do to honor, the armed services and those in active duty, as well as veterans and certainly those, that are fallen. We have several employees here in the office, and I'm sure we have many drivers, that are, Gold Star families, that have lost, good close friends and family, in various conflicts. And this is just one way for us to honor our industry, honor our country, and our coworkers. So. Any other questions about that? Okay.
Not yet.
Okay. That's really all that I've got, right now. So if there's any other questions or comments, I'm happy to just kind of go wherever we go from here. But
I don't know if this really has anything to do with what we're talking about right now, but Jason wants to know, is it possible to integrate with our sister companies in the Dasky family to use their yards for safety and securement?
Yeah, so that's a good question. The answer is kind of. I mean, Central Oregon and in Redmond, Oregon, they've allowed several of our drivers that have home time in that area, to park their trucks there, and we did something else there that I don't recall why we, needed to, their assistance in their yard. The thing is all the Dasky operating companies, OPCOs, we all run as completely separate entities. Okay, so even though we have a common ownership, each company, runs as its own private, and separate entity. And so those are individual conversations, individual relationships that we're going to have to develop, with them. Now, as we know, most Dasky, OPCOs are flatbed companies, and so we're different, than that, but our freight is obviously different, so if we've got a haz waste load or obviously, explosive load or whatever, they're probably not going to be very excited about hosting us, if nothing else, because they don't understand, what it is, that we haul and that kind of stuff. So the answer is kind of yes, but it's really something we have to work out, one-on-one individually with each individual company. Okay.
Yep, good.
Anything else? All right, everyone, thank you so much. Again, if we don't thank you for the work that you do, then we fail on that. But we do appreciate everything that you do. We hope that you have a great weekend. Thank your families for us, because we know it's a sacrifice and a burden on them as well. And we'll see you next Friday. Thank you, everyone.